attune, receive, intuit the inflow of energies as the Ajna Centre of the planetary being, the new group of world servers, ruled by Taurus, the spiritual agents of the hierarchy and the plan for humanity. Part 2, leading up to the 2026 Wesak Festival, the first decanate of Taurus. We envision, with clear seeing, pure joyful will and death of personality desire. Let us begin our ascent from the lower planes of matter, forging the instruments of constructive living, as we look to the light of the path up to the mountaintop and breathe the wisdom of the masters into our very being, going forth in the illumined, clear air of Venus and the pure, joyful will of Vulcan, fused as solar fire, creating the key which unlocks the mystery of life. To rise above earthly suffering, to transmute desire into aspiration, to end attachment, and along the path follow the way of release into the eternal now. Life within the form. I cannot too strongly reiterate the constant necessity for you to think in terms of energies and forces, of lines of force and energy relationships. Esoteric Astrology, page 336. Longing is the voice of your soul. It constantly calls you to be fully present to your life, to live to the full, the one life given to you. Reiki says to the young poet, live everything. You are here on earth now, yet you forget so easily. You traveled a great distance to get here. The dream of your life has been dreamed from eternity. You belong within a great embrace that urges you to have the courage to honor the immensity that sleeps in your heart. When you learn to listen to and trust the wisdom of your soul's longing, you will awaken to the invitation of graced belonging that inhabits the generous depths of your destiny. You will become aware of the miracle of presence within and around you. By John O'Donohue, an excerpt from the book Eternal Echoes. Integrating and aligning. The science of relations. The science of the centers. The science of triangles. The science of the rays. In Taurus, with the one world serving group, the new group of world servers is ruled by Taurus. Just as the physical eye came into being in response to the light of the sun, so the spiritual eye, also called the third eye, equally comes into being in response to the light of the spiritual sun. As the aspirant develops, she becomes aware of the light. I refer to the light in all forms, veiled by all sheaths and expressions of the divine life, and not just to the light within the aspirant, herself or himself. As her awareness of this light increases, so does the apparatus of vision develop, and the mechanism whereby the aspirant can see things in the spiritual light comes into being in the etheric body. The sacral center is connected with the Ajna Centre in the last analysis. The two together create a functioning duality, which is productive of that subtle quality which we call personality. There is a wide field for investigation in the theme of personality as an integrated whole, and in the quality of personality, which is the aroma, the influence, the effect, and the radiation of a personality. I throw out these ideas to students, hoping that some research may follow, which will relate this subject of the centers to the recognized facts of coordination, integration, and their effects in producing greatness. For those of you who are students of the secret doctrine, there is much to be unfolded anent the relation of the lunar lords, the Barashad Pitris, to the solar lord or angel. The field of work of the lunar lords is the sacral center, par excellence. That of the solar angel is the throat center. The Ajna Centre symbolizes the dualistic nature of manifestation in the three worlds in relation to intention. It fuses the creative energies of the throat and the sublimated energies of desire, or the true love of the heart, and thus is peculiarly related to the second ray of love and wisdom as two poles of creation in this solar system. Taurus, 6 degrees. A bridge being built across a high, narrow gorge. This symbol speaks of the ability, or the necessity, of being a bridge for yourself or others in order to link people, things, places, or understanding. People who act like bridges provide a great service for others as they make it possible to overcome limitations and to move forward. To build a bridge takes time, tools, energy, help, and perseverance. Once it is completed, the dangers that it spans are no longer of any real concern, or, at least, the people can rely on getting across to the other side, as there's a space that's been made for crossing over. One of your jobs may be to break down barriers between people. Themes: overcoming distance and separation, endeavoring to build community, solving problems, bridging emotional chasms, spanning gaps, going straight ahead and not looking down.
Let us take this beautiful rendering, this Sabian symbol of 6 degrees of Taurus, this bridge being built across a high, narrow gorge. and think of the bridge that we are building. Each of us within the soul vehicle, the narrow gorge of personality to soul. Vibration, light, sound, color, motion, direction. And a transformation occurs. Remember that there are 7 levels of discrimination, 7 levels of spiritual discernment, 7 levels of response to group vibration, and 7 levels of spiritual telepathy, which lead us across the rainbow bridge to join all and proceed into contact with the hierarchy. Together we build a group antakarana, intention to transform with purity of motive inspired by a loving heart. We visualize, we sense the vibration, we see the light, we hear the sound, the tones, and imagine the colors, and use the projection of a beam of light, personality and soul, sensing the motion and following the direction as we build the bridge together, using invocation and evocation, and stabilizing at the point that is reached to eventually achieve resurrection.
One, the stage of mental recording. The clarity and the accuracy of this recording will be dependent upon the condition of the channel of reception, the antakarana. In this recording, curiously enough, a certain element of time enters in. It is not time as you know it upon the physical plane, which is but the registration by the brain of passing events. It is the higher mental correspondence to time. Into this, I cannot here enter as the theme is too abstruse, for time, in this connection, is related to distance, to descent, to focus, and to the power to record.
Let us translate this Sabian symbol of 6 degrees of Taurus in relation to our becoming and being part of the one world serving group. A bridge being built across a high, narrow gorge, linking hearts across distance with ideas that flow from the hierarchy, strength and perseverance, guiding us as thoughts descend. The Ajna Centre of the planetary being, the one world serving group. This bridge, energy, with persistence, we build continuity of consciousness. Remember from the labors of Hercules, the power to do is the motto of Taurus, the one world serving group, the connecting, bridging entity, bringing ideals from the hierarchy into humanity's consciousness. We build continuity of consciousness.
The Ajna Centre registers or focuses the intention to create. It is not the organ of creation in the same sense that the throat center is, but it embodies the idea lying behind active creativity, the subsequent act of creation producing eventually the ideal form for the idea. The Ajna is very closely related to the throat chakra. The throat chakra is the thought form making factory. When both are blended, they produce the highest manifestation of the fire by friction, or the third aspect of divinity. The Ajna blends and fuses heart and throat energies. The Ajna expresses imagination and desire in their highest forms. Imagination and desire being the dynamic factors behind all creation. The Ajna relates the spiritual triad to the personality.
Pause here and consider your own centers and the triangle of the head center, the throat center, and the heart center. Create that image of the unifying, directed energy that flows from the centers. Blended, producing the highest manifestation, the third aspect of the divinity within your being, the personality. Along the Antakarana, lift the energies of the personality. As high as possible. And now envision the one world serving group, the Ajna Center of the planetary being, fusing heart, the hierarchy, and throat, humanity. The one world serving group, expressing imagination and aspiration or desire in the highest forms. And breathe into the future as imagination and desire become the dynamic factors of the one world serving group, bringing thought forms from this thought form making factory of humanity into the highest heart center, the hierarchy, to create the highest forms, the dynamic factors behind all creation. And let us, as members of the new group of world servers, the one world serving group, along the Antakarana, relating the spiritual triad to the personalities, ready to move up in alignment along the levels of soul consciousness.
The Ajna Centre of the Lord of the World is just beginning to express itself in a recognizable manner through the new group of world servers. This intermediate group between the hierarchy and humanity is a carrier of the energy which makes the plan possible, the plan of which the hierarchy is the custodian. This plan implements the purpose, and later, when the new group of world servers is organized and is recognized as a living organism, it will definitely receive energy from Shambhala in a direct reception via the hierarchy. We might visualize this image of the Ajna system as indicative of the progression along the Antakarana to the Lord of the world. Seven degrees Taurus, the woman of Samaria, a mountainous region bordered by 3 rivers between Galilee and Judea, comes to draw water from Jacob's well, symbolizing the transition from the old to the new covenant. This symbol shows the depth of human emotions, along with the notion of giving and sharing. The breaking down of barriers and cultural issues that divide people is the issue here. The woman of Samaria was taken by surprise that the Master would speak to her, as she was said to be from the wrong tribe. This speaks to accepting others for who they are, regardless of social structures and limitations. Someone may be in need of help. Draw on your inner resources. Take time out to assist and reach out to others. Dipping into family ancestry, past lives, going below the surface, water and its blessings, finding renewed self-respect, digging deep to find what unites, not divides. Allowing social prejudice to rule decisions and behavior, feeling left out, unable to assimilate or contribute, shallow prejudices, water disputes, social conditioning.
In a traditional understanding of this particular Sabian symbol, we rise above any prejudice. We create new rules for decisions and behavior. We include those who have been left out. We lift their contributions far beyond any shallow prejudices. We work as the bridge to settle disputes and to create new thought forms of solution that surpass any social conditioning. In our group projects as part of the One World Serving Group, all around the planet, we are digging deeply into the teachings, into the new age, to find what will unite, not divide. We break down the barriers. We work together across language, across culture. We meditate. We bring problems into focus, giving and sharing opportunities to bring light to humanity. Let us translate this in terms of the new group of world servers, the one world serving group, leading us from the unreal, those conflicts, to light from the hierarchy, transformation from the unreal to the real. And as the one world serving group, we draw water from the well as we climb the mountain. This symbolizes the transition from the old, the Piscean age, to the new covenant, the age of Aquarius. A time of transmutation and transition. We dig deeply into the subtle energies to find that which unifies rather than divides, bridging the barriers for humanity across cultures and nations. Visualize projection of lines of lighted energy across the bridge, the Antakarana, as the one world serving group, bringing with imagination and creativity transmutation of the lower to the higher. We follow the rules of thought.
I am a point of light within a greater light. I am a strand of loving energy within the stream of love divine. I am a point of sacrificial fire, focused within the fiery will of God, and thus I stand. I am a way by which men may achieve. I am a source of strength, enabling them to stand. I am a beam of light shining upon their way, and thus I stand. And standing thus revolve, and tread this way the ways of men, and know the ways of God, and thus I stand.
We stand together as one, the one world serving group. We stand together and breathe into the future as we see the one world serving group preparing to join the hierarchy on the plateau and await the coming of the Buddha in the Wesak festival at the full moon of Taurus. As we become the bridge for humanity to hierarchy, the heart center of our planetary being.
The initiate sees the new group of world servers brought under the illuminating power of Taurus, with the rest of humanity still under the influence of Pisces. You have, consequently, the overshadowing rain cloud of noble things hovering over humanity, just as the hierarchy overshadows the new group, and just as the soul overshadows the personality of man. You have all the needed illumination and light upon all the coming problems, waiting to precipitate itself through the new group of world servers under the influence of Taurus, the nurturer of all illumination. And you have humanity, at the same time conditioned and made sensitive by Piscean energy during the past 2,000 years. You have, therefore, a condition of great spiritual promise, and in this combination of energies, you have present those forces which will implement the activities of the hierarchy, condition its initiates, affect every ashram, bring light into the present darkness, and, as can already be seen, stir into new understanding the present Piscean consciousness of mankind. Taurus, 8 degrees, a sleigh without snow. This symbol implies having the vehicle, but not the fuel, the gas or energy, to get the vehicle going or make use of its available. It speaks about seasonal variations, where things available sometimes are not available at others. You may have to make the most of situations without much help. Are you expending energy trying to make things work in difficult conditions? You can often fuel things by tapping into your imagination. What adjustments or improvisations can be made? You may sometimes need to wait until the time is right to have the fuel to complete your mission. Independence from outer circumstances, anticipating future conditions, having no money or resources to move forward, filling up your tank, the value of timing, forcing your ideas or feelings even when you know the time is not right, lack of environmental support, missing connections, right thing in the wrong place.
Many may feel humanity is this sleigh without snow, unable to tap the imaginative processes leading out of the difficult conditions, constantly making adjustments, moving into situations when it is not the right time, unable to bring in the fuel to complete the mission. We stand together at this point as we think about humanity in relation to this Sabian symbol. And we move together as the one world serving group, independent of the outer circumstances. We anticipate future conditions, and we approach the Wesak festival, this time of the Buddha's return, as a time, in a way, to fill up the tank. So let's interpret this Sabian symbol in relation to the one world serving group as we move together on the first rule for disciples and initiates, into the cold, a newer tension, with the warmth of our energetic moving out. From the hierarchy, we draw down the ideal of freedom and divine vision. And we will stand with the hierarchy on the plateau, with patience, and accept the ebb and flow of these cycles, and utilize the cycles throughout the coming seasons with patience as we attempt to seed in the imagination of humanity independence of the forces of evil, of the conflicts that rage, with a new resourcefulness and a deep, abiding persistence to overcome all the challenges that have accumulated through the Piscean age and bring forth new freedoms and divine vision in the coming age. Along the Antakarana, we spend and project this line of light of patiently awaiting and following the ebb and flow toward freedom and divine vision.
Taurus, 9 degrees. A Christmas tree is decorated and shines in the darkness. This symbol speaks of the joy and togetherness of celebrations such as Christmas. It shows the need for experiencing or accepting family and friends and celebrating cultural ties and enjoying release from more difficult times. Activities of the group will bring joy to all those who participate or pass close enough to see. Gathering people together in a common cause in order to celebrate festivities and a sense of family can enliven everyone and give them hope. Joy will spread and life will be celebrated. The fruits of one's culture, warmth within, although it may be cold outside, festive seasons, and giving and receiving gifts and good wishes, family and friends, angels, loneliness, unfulfilled longings for family togetherness, the pretense of happiness or success in a show for social reasons, only doing the externals, commercialism. Within the fire of mind, focused in the head's clear light, let the group stand, and yet the warmth of group love permits the energetic moving out.
Let us move into and through the coming cycles as we approach in Capricorn the week of celebration and deep meaning for the one world serving group. Let us gather together and through this cycle daily lift from the activities of our in-person groups, bringing the joy that we know in following the path. And in our work and communities, gather people together in the common cause of overcoming all that hinders service and good health, and hold the joy of the will in Taurus, the one world serving group, with the warmth of those who are with us along the path. As we translate the Sabian symbol for the new group of world servers, the one world serving group, we have the gift in Taurus of Vulcan's gift, a golden breastplate, magnetic and protective, the symbol of energy emanating from high sources of spiritual power, enabling us to undertake the labors and go forward unafraid. We meet together and we bring our attention across the Antakarana to the joy and illumination centered in the Christ in the hierarchy. We breathe into the future as we join the Christ and the hierarchy for the festival greeting the Buddha, to bring down into the one world serving group, the Ajna Centre of the planet, that which will vitalize goodwill, that we send forth thinking the teachings into the minds of all, vitalizing and enlivening the common causes for the common good, and bringing the joy of this light to all the light workers working in the darkness to bring light on the unreal with the protection of the new group of world servers in alignment with the hierarchy and the Christ, to bring forth the externalization of the hierarchy and the coming of Christ in the new age.
Our goal in building in our group meditation, study, and service in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026. We continue to seek to learn a new rhythm, to enter a new field of experience, and to follow the steps of that advanced humanity who have trodden ahead of us on the path, leading from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real. We have tasted the joys of life in the world of illusion and have learnt their powerlessness to satisfy and hold us. Now, we are in a state of transition between the new and the old states of being. We are vibrating between the condition of soul awareness and form awareness. We are seeing double. Our spiritual perception grows slowly and surely as the brain becomes capable of illumination from the soul via the mind. As the intuition develops, the radius of awareness grows and new fields of knowledge unfold. Our affirmation as part of the One World Serving Group. Let the forces of light bring illumination to humanity. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May people of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
Tatsavitu Pareniyam Pargo Devasya Dhimai Dhyo